So first, black people were settlers, right? Y'all remember the girl that said black people were settlers? Then had to backtrack and say, oh, I didn't mean it like that. Now, because Beyonce wore a Buffalo Soldiers t-shirt, she agrees with the gender natives. I don't know what's going on, but the way that y'all are not taking into account of African American pain and struggles and the things that we had to do to survive post chattel slavery is genuinely disgusting to me. I'm tired of y'all trying to make black people look like we are oppressors in this country. It's really getting to a point, and I need y'all to stop. What we not finna do is get on the Buffalo Soldier. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. We're not doing that because y'all are not providing context.
Black Americans are once again at the center of a heated conversation, and this time it's all because of a t-shirt worn by none other than Beyoncé. Yes, Queen Bee herself sparked major controversy after stepping out in a bold Buffalo Soldiers shirt with some powerful and very problematic words printed on the back. Some say she's honoring Black history, others argue she's erasing the suffering of indigenous and Mexican people. But here's the thing, the reactions from Black Americans are deeply divided. So what's really going on? Was Beyonce trying to celebrate our ancestors, or did this t-shirt cross a line? Let's break it all down factually, emotionally, and truthfully from a Black American lens. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Amy and I'm truly glad to have you here. This is Trending Pulse Worldwide, where we explore real stories, real reactions, and real conversations from within the Black community and beyond.
So the Buffalo Soldier shirt that Beyonce was wearing has had indigenous people asking people, rightfully so, to educate themselves on who the Buffalo Soldiers were, their role in the colonial expansion west, in wiping out Native Americans, even mass Americans in some cases, and taking away Native American land. So I've been educating myself, and you know what I found out? So this isn't talked about often, but we know that many Native Americans enslaved Black people in this country. And the 5 tribes profited off slavery so much so that they fought for the Confederacy to keep slavery alive on Native land. And so when the Civil War ended and the Emancipation Proclamation was signed and slaves were supposed to be immediately free as of 1863, you know what? Slavery did not end for Black people on Native American lands until 1866. Yes, we talk about Juneteenth and how slaves in Texas were not told they were free until 2 years after slavery. Native Americans did not free their slaves until 1866, 3 years after they were supposed to be free. But because those tribes were sovereign to the United States, they didn't have to free their slaves, and didn't. And it wasn't until the treaties of 1866 that they freed their slaves. And once slavery ended on Native land, it's not like, oh, kumbaya, cool. You know, they were often denied rights, denied humanity, kicked off the land for not being indigenous, etc., and had to go find some other place to live. And while there were Native American tribes who were against slavery and who even safe harbored runaway slaves, I don't think we can talk about the role the Buffalo Soldiers played in the colonial expansion west and the erasure of Native Americans without also talking about the role Native Americans had in enslaving Black people and the treatment of Black people in this country.
So during her Cowboy Carter tour shop in Paris and on Juneteenth, no less, Beyonce wore a t-shirt that featured the words Buffalo Soldiers on the front, but it's what was printed on the back that has sparked outrage and deep discussion. The shirt described the enemies of the Buffalo Soldiers as, quote, warring Indians, Mexican revolutionaries, and outlaws of every kind. And for many, those words reopened wounds tied to colonization, imperialism, and erasure. So in today's video, we are hearing only from Black Americans, voices on both sides of the debate. Some are defending Beyonce, saying she was honoring Black soldiers who are rarely acknowledged. Others are speaking out against the message, especially the way it portrays indigenous and Mexican people. So let's continue with the reactions, get to understand what people are saying, and then we'll talk about it.
Here's what I think about Beyonce's Buffalo Soldier shirt. I see a lot of people saying that the soldiers were forced, and so they weren't doing it out of their own will. Even though I think that's very sad for Black Americans, I think we also need to account that there's other victims in the story. Many indigenous people are saying that they felt offended by the shirt. And I think that we should respect that. A lot of times we tell white people That when we're offended by something, they just need to take it as that because we said we're offended, no explanation. And even though we are also victims in the story, I think we need to take our own advice. And they were fully right to be mad too. The shirt said, and I quote, "Their antagonists were enemies of peace and settlement, battling Indians and Mexican revolutionaries." And I'm sorry, if this were the other way around, I know we would not take this. Yes, nuance. Yes, not every part of history is clean. I get that. But with the state of our country and everything with ICE, I don't think this was the best part of history to rep.
I think Beyonce wore the Buffalo Soldier shirt because she was sending a message to us. I think she's letting us know that she knows she's ethnic Black American. She sees us, she hears us, and she understands because that's part of our history specifically.
Boycott Beyonce. Don't get triggered now. Boycott Beyonce. If you feel so strongly about her wearing that Buffalo Soldier shirt, go ahead and boycott Beyonce. Go ahead and boycott Beyonce. Don't do any due diligence your goddamn self and do your actual research. Go ahead and just boycott Beyonce. This is what y'all always want. Y'all always looking for a chink in her fucking armor just to say you got it. You got it now. Boycott Beyonce. No one is forcing you to see her. No one is forcing you to listen to her. No one is forcing you to do not a goddamn thing but live and breathe. Boycott Beyonce. Instead of actually coming on here, throwing discourse for the next 3 weeks now all of us got to hear about this shit, go ahead and boycott Beyonce. Just block and boycott. How did that work out back in when was it? 2016, I think that shirt came out, Boycott Beyonce. How did that work out?
Now that we've seen all those reactions, let's really talk about it, because there's no denying that the Buffalo Soldiers hold an important place in Black history. And these were Black men who, after slavery, found a way to serve, to earn wages, and to protect themselves in a country that didn't fully see their humanity. And they were pioneers, they were resilient, and they were proud. But we also have to face a difficult truth. While serving the US military, they were sometimes used in campaigns that caused real harm to other oppressed groups, especially Native Americans and Mexican revolutionaries. So when Beyonce wore a t-shirt with the words "Warring Indians" and "Mexican revolutionaries" labeled as enemies of peace, it hit a nerve, and understandably so, because for some, that language felt like it erased the stories of those who were simply fighting to protect their land, their people, and their freedom. And at the same time, Beyonce may have been trying to spotlight a part of Black military history that's often ignored, especially in the world of country music and the American West, where Black contributions are constantly erased. But even with good intentions, the impact matters. And this moment reminds us that Black history is layered. Our fight for survival sometimes existed within larger systems of oppression. And we can hold space for both truths. We can be proud of our ancestors while also acknowledging that their stories are complicated. That doesn't make them less heroic. It makes their legacy more human. And honestly, these conversations aren't meant to divide the Black people. They are meant to deepen our understanding and makes us more aware of how we show up for others too. So guys, what do you think? Was this t-shirt a powerful tribute, or was it a painful oversight? Let's talk in the comments, but let's keep it respectful. These are emotional topics and everyone's voice deserves space. And if you value real conversations that explore the depth of our history, the Black history and culture, don't forget to like this video, share it to someone who needs to hear it, and subscribe for more content just like this. Thank you for watching Trending Pulse Worldwide. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.